as in my opinion, this looks like Britney Spears. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Avionics back with another action figure review. Now, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as I do put out quite a few videos throughout the month. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the rest of the Masterverse, Masters of the Universe action figures, which is from the Netflix original series directed by Kevin Smith. These are all made by Mattel, and joining with us today is the He-Man figure, the Mossman figure, Skeletor, and Evil-Lyn. These four complete the first wave. Battlecat and Skelegod were the first two to be released. So the itinerary on this video is, first things first, we're going to take a look at all of their boxes, and then we're going to take a look at everything that comes inside each box, and then we'll move on to articulation of each figure, and then we'll do some scale comparisons with other figures, throw in some B-roll, and then my final thoughts on these figures. Alright, so starting off with boxes. So all four of these boxes, they have this insert. I went ahead and disposed of all the plastic, but they all have this inside each box. Alright, so here's He-Man's box. Here is a barcode on top. These have 30 points of articulation. It says Masterverse on top. Once again, the Netflix logo, because these are a Netflix original series. Masters of the Universe Revelation. He-Man made by Mattel. He-Man on the side, most powerful man in the universe. On the other side, we have some nice graphic image. On the back side, it says He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, defender of Castle Grayskull, protector of the planet Eternia, and guardian of the entire universe. There is nobody stronger, faster, or braver than the mighty He-Man. He is quite simply the most powerful man in the universe, past, present, or future. A vessel for the mysterious power of Grayskull, He-Man inspires the heroes of Eternia to fight the forces of evil. Without He-Man, Eternia and the universe would be doomed. So we have all four here. Mattel, some gibberish, and then barcode for anyone that is needing it. Alright, so that's He-Man's box. Mossman's box. Same for the most part. It says Mossman at the bottom. Mossman, the heroic spy and master of camouflage. Here we have a nice artistic graphic on that side. Here is the back. Mossman, heroic spy and master of camouflage. Once believed to be nothing more than a legend, the mythical Preternian plant creature Mossman is wise beyond his million years. His powers of great strength, plant control, and shapeshifting into any form of plant life make him an invaluable ally to He-Man in the fight against Skeletor. As a protector of Castle Grayskull's secrets, Mossman's sagely advice helps guide his friend He-Man to the right path. And here is his barcode. Alright, moving on to Skeletor's box. On the side it says Evil Lord of Destruction. On that side with the graphic, there we go. Alright, Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction. For ages, Skeletor ravaged the land and terrorized the people of Eternia in his quest to capture all of the power in the universe for himself. Now the nefarious scourge of Eternia plots his final hostile takeover of Castle Grayskull with dark magic, devious technology, and an army of loyal soldiers at his back. This sinister sorcerer believes this time nothing can stop him, not even He-Man. And there is his barcode. And last but not least, Evil-Lyn. On the side here, Evil Warrior Goddess. Here is her graphic image on this side of the box. Alright, Evil-Lyn. Evil Warrior Goddess, the dark sorceress, ever present by Skeletor's side, weaves sinister spells to assist in his quest to conquer Castle Grayskull. A dangerous foe with malicious intent, Evil-Lyn is not above allying herself with the heroic warriors for her own ambition, and the untapped universal power held within Eternia. Whether standing on the side of evil or the side of good, Evil-Lyn is to be feared but never trusted. And then here is her barcode. And now, moving on to taking a closer look at all the figures. So with He-Man, he comes with two sets of hands. He has these gripping hands, so he can hold his sword and his shield. Those are the first hand sculpts. And then the other one, the other set, his left hand is just a hand at rest. But you could also put his shield handle in between his thumb and fingers. And then his right hand His second right hand is a fist. Now all these have the side-to-side pivot or hinge. All right, and then he does come obviously with his power sword. And here is the sculpt of that. It's a nice looking simple sculpt, yet detailed enough to get the point across that this is the power sword. A gray paint application for the most part, and then a brown painted handle. And then here is his shield. So it's gray with orange, and then on the back side, there's the detail and the sculpt of the straps to put his forearm and hand right there. Taking a closer look at He-Man himself. So here he is we'll start with the face sculpt. To me, obviously, a lot of people already agree that this, even though these are in line with the Netflix series, they're not very show accurate. As in my opinion, this looks like Britney Spears. But it is what it is, and this is actually my first collection that is Masters of the Universe related, so I'll take it. So pretty decent sculpt though. It's got color in the details, the yellow with the darker areas of the hair. And then we have his chest piece, gray with red on the back side. Now these actually, you can actually remove this. I'll go ahead and remove it, just pull it off. But it's easy to put back on, but yes, this is removable. There is He-Man without it, and just put it back on, just slip it on over his head again. And I usually just use my finger and my thumb to push it back into place, to squeeze it like that. 1 and 2. And if you want to, it does have 2 positions to be able to make it tighter. Alright, so then going down to his arms, he has his yellow bracer here. Now he is a little bit more orange than the other figures like Origins and Classics, which a lot of people have been complaining about, that he's too yellow. And yeah, I guess he is a little on the yellow side. On the left arm, he has this protective armor bracer. This would be his, his shield side. And then moving down to his belt, and it's the same yellow that's located on these pieces of armor. And then the brown textured loincloth, it looks pretty great, got nice detail. Then moving down to his legs and his boots. So it's got that same kind of paint application, loin around the top of the boot, and a nice sculpt of the boot. Alright, and so that's He-Man. Moving on, let's move on to Moss Man. So Moss Man's accessories, he comes with these set of hands. So they are of both a right and left gripping. And then he comes with another set of hands. So this would be the second pair. So here is the left hand sculpt. And these also pivot from side to side. His right hand of the second set. And then we have this kind of hand sculpt, pose, right hand. Here is the left hand. And then he comes with this one where he can transform his hand into some long roots. So we'll get him into this shortly. And then here is Moss Man himself. He is of like 3 different shades of green, and then 1 shade of brown throughout. So let's take a look at the sculpt of his head. That's a pretty cool sculpt. Now, I'm sure everyone has already seen the series, but he's only in this season for like maybe 20-30 seconds at the most before you know what happens. Spoiler alert, but yeah, that's his face sculpt. The texture of this entire figure is really nice. I mean, just look at all that detail. He's got this like little leaf, little branch sprouting from his shoulder. He's got hints of other roots wrapping around. Lots of mossy textures. So going down, we do have like a brown collarbone covered in moss at the shoulders and the chest. And then we see his trunk, which is a dark green. And then we're gonna see another little branch and leaf kind of sprouting from this right elbow. And then we have this brown belt and like this shade of green on the loincloth going down. We got that dark green on his thighs, and then the other two shades of green right here at his kneecaps. And yeah, so there's the back of that. And then his feet, they're like roots all spread out, 4 roots, brown, and they all do have peg holes. So there's that. All right, so Skeletor comes with these set of hands. So we have this almost like a trigger finger on the right hand, really, but you can hold one of his staffs right there. And then his left hand is a full grasp of an item, so it's a grasping hand. And then he does come with another set of hands, which would be a right hand fist. And once again, these swivel side to side. And then a resting left hand right there. Painted nails, so that's nice. These are like a black, I want to say they're like black, kind of maybe even just a deep dark purple. But yeah, so that's pretty cool that they've went ahead and did that, because they also did paint his toenails, so he has 3 toes on those monstrous feet. All right, let's take a look at the face sculpt of Skeletor. It's pretty neat. So he's got this hood, his purple hood. He's got his purple, 3 shades of purple on his shoulder armor. And then you have, so you could actually like kind of look that you might be able to take that off. Not sure. As far as the soft goods cape, which is really nice. I hate hard sculpted capes on figures. So let's try popping his head off. Whoa, everything just kind of flew off. Okay, so yeah, so this removes if you wanted to. Oh, you know what? Here, look at this. Okay, so here's the cape. So yeah, you can remove the cape. If you don't want him having a cape, you can remove it. And then you can remove the chest piece right here. It's just a 1 peg with 2 holes, so they all just peg in at the same time there. So let's take a look at Skeletor without his chest armor and his chest strap. So there's Skeletor without all that. He looks looks weird. We all used to seeing him with all this on. So let's go ahead and put that back on. But here's a closer look at the head joint, neck joint. Okay, let's go ahead and put this back on. So the cape just goes on like that, and then you can slap on his shoulder armor, and then back his head goes. All right, let's take a look at the accessories besides the hands that is included in his packaging. He does come with the shaping staff, and then here is his Havoc staff. Pretty nice detail and sculpt in this. Pretty cool weapons. So there is Skeletor. Now moving on, last but not least, Evil-Lyn. So these are the hands that Evil-Lyn comes with. Here is one set where she is grasping something, and then she comes with 3 sets of hands total. Here is another right hand. It's kind of like a sorceress casting magic hand. Here is another casting hand, but with the left hand, and then a right and a left fist. So there's the right, here is the left, and then she does come with an extra head, which is really cool. So this is the other head, the head that is not attached out of the packaging, her famous white hair. So there's both heads. Okay. And then she comes with her purse that she can be seen sporting around in the show. So this is of like a muted brown, and then with hints of like a magenta paint application right here, a painted buckle. So that's pretty cool. And then she comes with her staff, the long one, her sorcerer's staff, and then she has a shorter one, which is really nice. And now, if I remember correctly, this breaks in the show, and then it shows her having this half one as a weapon. But I could be wrong. She might have two to begin with the as far as vintage or retro cartoons. But she does come with two of them, a long one and a short one. All right, let's take a closer look at Evil-Lyn now. There is her head sculpt on the one that she comes out of the box. That evil looking face, great makeup application. It's like a dark deep purple with, and these are like supposed to be gray. Great outfit. Look at that great outfit. So it's like three shades of blue. It's like purplish blue almost. But here we have this shade, and then we have the lighter blue, and then this is like make it like a deep indigo maybe. Really nice, really nice. And then on the side here, she actually has a, I guess you'd call it a holster. So you can actually put the short sorcerer's staff right here. Kind of have it stowed away like that. So that's pretty neat. And then, so her movement is going to be limited because of this, but it is soft and flexible. So you can pose her pretty good still. Alright, so she is wearing like, this one is black. The black bracers with the black one-third glove. And then she is wearing black pants and like dark gray boots. Once again, let's take a look at this sculpt. This is really neat. So let's go ahead and pop this head on. Alright, so here's Evil-Lyn with her second head attached. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to articulation. So with this head of Evil-Lyn, she's going to be limited because of the hair. Now if we switch her heads back, she'll have better range of motion as she can go all the way around. That's as far as she can tilt left. Not much tilting to the side really, but she doesn't really look up. I guess because the helmet is conflicting with the back of her jacket. But here's her looking down. Shoulders up. 360. We have bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows, which looks great on Evil-Lyn. And then we have wrist rotation all the way around. And then once again, the hand swivel in and out. Alright, so her upper torso articulates off of the mid torso. Right there. And then she does twist around at the waist all the way around. As far as legs go, here is her kicking forward. She can go back quite a bit before her butt gets in the way, or even her jacket. And then she does have thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. And then she does have boot rotation there. And then here's her toes up, toes down, and you can rotate all the way around to get some nice pivoting, hinging going on. Alright, so there's Evil-Lyn's articulation. Let's go back to Skeletor's articulation. Here is head up. It doesn't really look up very well because his hood and the shoulder armor are touching, but I mean he can kind of nod like that. No tilting to the left or the right, but his head goes all the way around. Arms out. Now if you're familiar with Mattel figures, their articulation is pretty buttery smooth, and I really like how smooth their articulation is. So there's up, all the way around, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, 360-degree rotation at the wrist, upper torso with middle torso. Oh, you know what? We forgot to show. Lean back. Evil-Lyn, not much so, but she can kind of lean forward just a tad. So with Skeletor, not so much leaning ab crunch going on, but I mean, there's a little. See that? And you can twist. He can twist at that upper and middle torso at the waist. Twist all the way around. Legs kicking forward. That's as far as his leg will go back before hitting his butt. Thigh rotation. double jointed knees. And then we have boot rotation. And then his feet articulate or hinge up, hinge down, and it rotates all the way around. So that is Skeletor. Let's move on to Mossman. Doesn't really look up. A little bit. Look down. No tilting. 360. His arms up. All the way around. We have bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. 360 degrees at the wrists. And then upper torso, mid torso. Not a lot of ab crunch going on, but it does add a little bit more depth in twisting. Lean back, not really. Rotation all the way around. Legs, here's his kick forward. Kick back before hitting his butt. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Nice and stiff, but still buttery. Not too, like, they don't like click. Now, Mossman does not have boot swivel as he does not wear boots. And then as far as his feet articulation goes, because he has those unique root feet, it does rotate all the way around, and it does hinge up a little and hinge down a little. All right, moving on to He-Man's articulation. All right, so no tilting going on, but he can look down. And that's as far as he can look up, really. 360 degrees. His arms up, rotate. Ooh, there we go. Let's just decapitate He-Man. 360 degrees all the way around. We got bicep swivels. We have double jointed elbows. His hand rotates 360 degrees with that side to side motion, horizontal. So here is his ab crunch torso articulation. So not much crunching forward. A little bit better to slouch back to be able to look higher. Okay, rotate 360 at the waist. Front kick forward. Front kick back before it hits the butt. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. You got boot swivel. Hinge up, hinge down, and 360. All right, there is articulation. All right, so here's He-Man with his shield held in his left hand, and then his sword is kind of sheathed into his chest back straps. So let's go ahead and have him holding his power sword. All right, so there is He-Man with his sword and shield in hand. So here I have Mossman outfitted with this left hand and then the root hand, which can go on either side. You can actually balance okay. You just need to make sure you pose him correctly. Right there, like that. And here is Skeletor holding both the Havoc staff and the Shaping staff. And then here I have Evil-Lyn with her short sorcerer staff holstered, and she's holding her long one, and then she has her purse around her shoulder. Alright, so we start off scale comparison with the 4 figures and Skelegod. And now with Battlecat. And here are some other Mattel action figures with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker. And here we have NECA's TMNT movie Shredder and Foot Soldier. Now for anyone interested in knowing these, the Masterverse figures are on the 1/10 or 7-inch scale. So these scale well with other 7-inch figures such as the Mattel's WWE figures and NECA characters. And here are some other NECA TMNT movie action figures. We have Disguise Raph and Regular Raph. And for 6-inch scale or 1/12 scale reference purposes, here we have Hasbro's Marvel Legends Deadpool and Star-Lord. And then we have Hasbro's G.I. Joe Classified 6-inch series from the Snake Eyes movie Origins, Storm Shadow, and Baroness. And now my thoughts on the remaining first wave of Mattel's Masterverse Masters of the Universe action figures. If you're late in the game and collecting any MOTU, this line is a great way to get started, as such as myself. If you enjoyed the new Netflix series directed by Kevin Smith, then this collection is fitting for you. He-Man himself, as far as the face sculpt, isn't very show accurate, but his figure is nice and strong and has great articulation. Mossman figure has outstanding detail and texture from head to toe. His huge right hand is a little too heavy to pose really, but is a great addition as an accessory nonetheless. Evil-Lyn is a great action figure all around with show accurate details and extra head sculpt and loaded with lots of extra hands and accessories. And Skeletor is also pretty much show accurate. I like that he comes with both the Havoc and Shaping Staffs, but his ankle rockers seem a little bit weak. Overall, I'm happy with this new MOTU Masterverse line, as I'm loving the Netflix series. It's just a great size and scale at the 7 inches, and great articulation and great colors all around, even despite He-Man's unique suntan. Well, if you guys enjoyed watching this video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button. Leave all your comments and thoughts on these figures down below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell to be notified of future videos like this. Thanks for watching.